This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane Broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, your guardian of the First Amendment, Radical Radio. And we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. A good Tuesday morning. We're going to take care of our housekeeping first. Stick around, though. We've got a very special guest, Mr. Kurt Prenzler. He's a Madison County treasurer, and he's the people's candidate for Madison County Board Chairman. And as always, the disclaimer, and I'll put another disclaimer when Mr. Prenzler comes on the air. He's not here to endorse my craziness. He's not here to endorse my language. He's not here to endorse my show or my political philosophy. He's here to be transparent to all the good people of Madison County. He's one of the few public servants. He's not a politician. He's a public servant. He's one of the few that will come on this show and get hard-hitting questions asked. There's not many that will do that. Charlie Meyer, Dwight K., Kurt Prenzler. There's a few. But the vast majority, they want to hide from you people. It's time that they all come out in the open. Mr. Kurt Prenzler, stick around. He'll be our guest. And again, he's here to be transparent to the good people of Madison County, not to endorse Bob Romanik in any way, shape, or form. On our housekeeping, I just got a few, well, we've got more than a few. And people will say, Bob, you waste a little bit of time. And I tell them to kiss my ass. I never waste time when I'm trying to help somebody out. I never waste time when someone has cancer and we're trying to get some money to help the cause. So for all you idiots that say I waste time, kiss my red, white, and blue, hairy, wrinkled ass. Deidre D.D. Brady is being diagnosed with a rare form of cancer. It's a large mass in her trachea, and they're having a fundraiser. And let's help her along her journey to defeat this nasty and sometimes deadly disease. She's going to have a fundraiser November the 12th from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Bluff Grange, 8567 Illinois 163 in Millstock. Entry is $20 per person, or 2 entries for $30. They're going to have DJ, going to have mouse roulette, kitty corner. Food's going to be available. A beautiful lady, Deidre D.D. Brady. So let's, if we can, let's try to get out there. The radio station will be there. Let's try to get out there and help. Just remember, you or I could be in that position. So if there is a God, let's thank him that we're not. And let's fight. Let's fight for the cause. And Ray Carruthers, thank you for bringing this. You can contact Shannon McCandless at 618-616-7963 or Missy Rosenberg at 618-420-7755. And Dee Dee Brady, thank you very much for being such a beautiful lady, and thank you for fighting the fight. We all have fights to fight, but yours is a little more serious, and we're behind you 1,000%. Our good friends, our crazy friends at the Polish American War Vets, their annual turkey shoot, coming up Sunday, November the 13th, starts at noon. There's house guns available, $2 long necks. Don't forget their free ham and beans. And I want to say hi to my great friends Chico and all of our military heroes that belong to the Polish American War Vets. They're located at 2180 North 81st Street in Caseyville, Illinois. Their telephone number, 618-398-5040. We'll be out there on November the 13th. Hopefully you guys will come out and support their great cause. Veterans Honor Queue, somewhat like a barbecue. Sons of the American Legion Squadron 581 out of Columbia, Illinois. Their beer and barbecue dance this Friday, November the 4th. Doors open at 6, dinner at 7. Music by the Dave Glover Band, a great band. Tickets are $30 per person. It's to be held at the American Legion Post 581 in Columbia. Any questions or concerns, you can contact Mike Nowak at 920-0393 or the American Legion Post 618-281-5556. Want to say hello again to Jerry Rosh and all the good people in the Mascoutah area. He just want to say thanks to all of our veterans for giving him and me and all of us the right to vote freely next Tuesday. We thank all the veterans. Jerry, you're a proud veteran also, so thank you guys, and I can never, ever thank you enough. And for you ignorant, no-count, low-life son of a bitches that say I take patriotism too far, I tell you one more time, there's two things you cannot love enough, your family and your country is your family. Jerry Rosh and all you veterans, thank you as always. Friends of Lebanon Fire Department, their pancake and sausage breakfast will be held this Sunday, November the 6th, from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Lebanon Firehouse, the Emerald Mound Firehouse. Tickets are available at the First Federal Savings and Loan, Legendary Creations, and Farmers and Merchants Bank. It's all you can eat. If you have any questions or concerns, there's not a telephone number, but the good people of Lebanon will be out there. And if anybody can make it through on November the 6th, this Sunday, please do. Richard Smith, thank you for that information. VFW Post 805, located in O'Fallon, Illinois at 221 West 1st Street, are having their happy birthday to the United States Marine Corps coming up on November the 12th. It'll be at O'Fallon. It starts at 6 p.m. with cocktail hour, dinner at 7. It's going to be a great time. DJ by Rob Morris. Mike Murphy, thank you very much. I'm trying to find a telephone number here. There's not a telephone number, but please contact the VFW Post 805 in O'Fallon, Illinois, and they'll be able to give you a lot more information. Happy birthday to our proud United States Marines, to be held on November the 12th at the VFW Post 805. Millstock Community Blood Drive coming up next Thursday, November the 10th from 4 to 8 p.m., sponsored by the Millstock Consolidated School Multi-Purpose Room. They're located at 211 West Mill Street in Millstock. Any questions or concerns, you can contact our good friend Marge at 401-5122. The Pharaohs Motorcycle Club having their annual Western Dance on November the 4th from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. It's $10. Bring your own bottle. They're located at 8601 California Drive in Caseyville. And these good guys at the Pharaoh Motorcycle Club, they're not a motorcycle gang. They're great guys getting together to help the community and have a great time doing it. The Word Mart to be held Sunday, November the 13th at the Mascoutah Moose Lodge in Mascoutah, Illinois. Any questions or concerns, you can call 618-566-4406. Meet the candidates in Freeburg. Come join me. I'll be there. Roger Cook, Ed Cockrell, Carl Officer, Gary Carnwell, Dallas Cook, Laninia Cason. We'll be at Scooters at 301 Marketplace Drive in Freeburg this Wednesday, November the 2nd, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Any questions or concerns, you can contact Gene Friedrich at 618-781-3202. Our good friends at the Belleville Quail Club, located at 8303 Concordia Church Road. Their meat shoot coming up this Sunday, November the 6th, from noon till whenever. Any information that you need, 476-1024. The kitchen and bar will be open. And again, thank you guys as always out at the Quail Club. Our brave heroes, the Belleville Fire Department, their 60th annual Chicken and Beer Dance, coming up November the 4th, this Friday, $20 admission. It'll be at Fisher's Restaurant. All the chicken, all the beer you can eat and drink. Old Salt Union will be there. You can go to any fire department and get some tickets. Please support not only the Belleville Fire Department, but all of our first responders, and we want to salute them. Commune All, a food fest benefiting the family of Officer Blake Schneider, will be held Wednesday, November the 9th. It's going to be held at the Wiley Theater Event Center in Edwardsville, Illinois. That's Wednesday, November the 9th. It'll start at, it doesn't say what time it's going to start. Oh, it does, at 5:30 p.m. Any questions or concerns? Again, there's no number here, but you can contact the Wiley Theater for any and all information. The American Legion Post, 1255 201 Isler Road, will be hosting a meat shoot this Sunday, November the 6th. American Legion Post 1255, Jimmy and all the commander and all the great guys out there. If you have any questions or concerns, 538-5445. Don't forget, you can pick me up on iTunes. Type in Bob Romanik and or the Grim Reaper of Radio. Go to our streaming site, insanebroadcasting.com. One word, common spelling, for the best of all of our great stations. Listen to my repeat performance every day, Monday through Friday at 4 o'clock p.m. And now, broadcasting from the graveyard to the graveyard shift every night at the stroke of midnight. Please like us on Facebook at KQQZ 1190 AM or KZQZ 1430 AM. Go to my personal Facebook page, Fans of the Grim Reaper, or Bob Romanik for State Representative. And as always, go to the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition on Facebook to get all the information about politics in our region. On this date, November the 1st, 1800, the first president to live in the White House was John Adams. On this date, November the 1st, 1834, the first published reference to the game of poker described it as a Mississippi riverboat game. On this date, November the 1st, 1873, barbed wire was invented by Joseph Gilden. On this date, November the 1st, 1879, the electric lamp was patented by Thomas Edison. Well, there's a good one. On this date, November the 1st, 1896, the first women's bare breast appeared in National Geographic magazine. And the other boob, that's Mark the Big Faggot Boy Kern, he's shown his boobs ever since. On this date, November the 1st, 1897, the new Library of Congress was opened in Washington, D.C. On this date, November the 1st, 1982, the Playboy Channel was launched, and I know was watched by all men, but Mark, the Big Faggot Kern, was not one of them, I'm sure. I don't think that was his taste. That's what happened on this date, November the 1st, throughout all these years in our world's history. I want to somewhat apologize. I'm losing my voice and all this election crap going on. These guys are talking so bad about me, my enemy, and I'm really not that bad a guy after seeing the national race. Hell, I'm an upstanding citizen, seeing Trump and Clinton and all the crap they've been involved in. But hell, I'm just about ready to vote for my opponent. They've just about got me psychologically trained here. Don't listen to all these ads, people. You'll see nobody, Democrat or Republican, they flipped the script. This guy, well, he said something about the YK, let rapists run. That's not true. And I wouldn't say that for a Democratic candidate. Don't let these slick ads fool you, good people. You've been living in the community. You've experienced the political people in this community. Don't let some slick ads right before election sway your vote. Speaking of vote, I just hope everybody in Madison County is smart enough to know that you've got a great candidate running for county board chairman. You've got a candidate that's transparent. You've got a candidate that's fought for the good people of Madison County. You've got a candidate that's going to fight for the people and listen to the people instead of the political parties. It's an honor and a privilege to have with us again the Madison County Treasurer, Mr. Kurt Prenzler. Kurt, how the hell you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fine, Bob. Thank you.
Kurt, I'll tell you, I was amazed this last 6-7 months, and I get up to Madison County a lot, and I know you don't want to blow your own horn. And this is not to say, hey, you're going to win, so people, you need to stay at home. No, everybody needs to get out and vote for this gentleman. Kurt, they tell me that you've made such an impact on the good people of Madison County that your polls show that you have a great possibility of being the next county board chairman and a great possibility of taking Madison County and putting it up on the level it should be and still on the level instead of the level that it's been sliding down for the last 20, 30 years.
Well, Bob, I don't have nearly the money of my opponent, but my opponent, we see this from the State Board of Elections, he purchased the services of a polling company back in August of $26,600. And friendly Democrats are telling us the results of those polls, and the polls do say that I'm ahead. Again, I would just repeat what you've said, that we encourage everyone to get out and vote. But, their team counts the vote, so we still have our finger.
Thank you.
And, Bob, I just want to thank you again for coming up to Madison County. You've got a lot of listeners up there, and what you did for Brad Leviti, who's in charge of our Veterans Assistance Commission in Madison County, who has gone, I don't know how long, he's not been permitted to come back into his office, and you've a lot of folks really appreciate what you did by coming up and broadcasting that rally that we had up there.
Well, let me tell you, Kurt, I'd heard about you, and I got to talk with you up in Madison County on that day. And when you stood there and you stood tall for the veterans, and not only for the veterans, for everyone that have the right to live free and have free access to that courthouse, that just made me have nothing but respect for you. And I hope the good people of Madison County understand what you're about and don't listen to whatever, and I don't know what kind of crap they're spewing on you, but I know it's election time and there's going to be a lot of crap. But I would ask you, Kurt, what would be one of your top priorities if elected as the county board chairman in Madison County?
Well, the two priorities would be, again, everyone knows property taxes are too high. And so what we've done, and this is pretty amazing, and I am a CPA, so I understand debits and credits. We've had deceptive budgeting in Madison County so that every year we tax the people $3 to $4 million more than what we need. And so that $3 to $4 million goes into it, increases the kitty. So the first thing I would do is we would have just straight budgeting. We don't need to tax the people for more than what we need. So that would mean a 10% reduction, not in the total tax bill, Bob, but in the county portion of the tax bill. I want to make that clear. Of 10%, that would mean about $3 to $4 million. So that would be number one. Number two would be ethics in government. I think, we can talk about a lot of real complicated things with ethics, but one I think is an example of the bad ethics is the chairman has had a personal credit card, and he's used that credit card a number of times for personal reasons. And recently he said he just made a mistake. He couldn't tell one credit card from the other.
Oh, sure.
And then we had a lot of response on that. That was on Facebook. And a lot of people called in and said, if I had mixed up my credit card, my business credit card, that is my company's credit card for my own personal credit card, I would have lost my job. And of course, it happened 14 times. Even in Napa Valley, California, where the chairman and the head of our community development department went out to Napa. They had a storm sewer conference, and it had to be in Napa Valley, California.
Well, sure.
And so the more you look at it, the more you laugh. But, we have a lot of active military people in this area, a lot of anyone who works for a large corporation or works for the government, and they're going to use their government-issued credit card to go to a restaurant and then go to the meat market and buy $200 of meat and then go to California and use it. It just doesn't happen. And I do want to say, the whole issue of ethics and why I'm running, Bob, is we have one team. Some people call it a machine county. We have one team that's in charge of Madison County, and people are people, human nature. And so if people think that, well, no one's watching them, and if they can get away with it, human nature, someone's going to try it.
Right.
And I think that it's just human nature. I'm not saying that every person who works within the Madison County administration or works for the government, but there has been a situation where when people see bad things taking place, they don't speak up. And I think they're fearful. And that's what we need, is we need more openness, we need more transparency, and to let people speak up. People shouldn't fear just fear in that situation.
I'd like to ask Kurt, and I've talked with a lot of people in Madison County, and they ask, why would you be running for this office? You're entrenched as a Madison County treasurer. You've done a great job as Madison County treasurer, and they say, why would he want to get into another political fight? It's an uphill battle, but I think you can win this. But what are some of your other reasons for running for office?
Well, one of the things I did as treasurer is I reduced my budget by 30%, but that's only reducing $1 million budget down to $700,000. So that saves $300,000 a year. And a lot of folks, well, that's just a drop in the bucket. That's a drop in the ocean. And it is, to be honest.
But it's a start.
It's a start because what we do is this year in Madison County, our total tax bills add up to about $405 million. Now, the reason I'm running is because basically everything in the treasurer's office is fixed. We had, I reduced the cost of the office. We had the situation with the tax sales, and we all know that former Treasurer Fred Bathon went to federal prison, and so we fixed that. We also we had a situation where we were buying investments out of Little Rock, Arkansas for 9 years in a no-bid situation. You can understand what that is.
Right.
And so we fixed that, and we've tripled our deposits in local. And when I say local, I mean Metro East, because this Metro East area really is one economy. And so when I say local banking institutions, I mean Metro East, not only Madison County. So basically, the reason I'm running is I think everything is fixed in the treasurer's office.
I got a question, and I don't know why anybody would not be for this, and I'm going to ask you, and I would assume you're for it. Madison County, they're considering a 5-cent cut in its property tax. Are you in favor, and if so, why?
I am, and let me explain that. That was something a year ago. I saw the deceptive budgeting going on, and I demanded that we reduce our tax levy to get rid of that padding of the budget, $3 to $4 million. Well, the chairman wouldn't do that, and so I thought, well, we'll take this to the people. And in April, me and 125 other people went out there and gathered 10,000 signatures during April, and we submitted those signatures on May 8th, and that was to put a referendum on the ballot, which is on the ballot, by the way, and that would reduce the county portion of the real estate taxes by a nickel. Now, that's not a lot. For a home that's $100,000, that would mean anywhere from $10 to $16. And so it's not going to solve all the problems of the world. But the reason we did that is because we had a good argument. Why are you taxing us for what you don't need? And the chairman wouldn't listen to reason, so we had to take it to the people. And so the chairman has come back and said, oh, this is oh my, what people have said. This is going to cause school teachers to lose their jobs. Well, this has nothing to do with the schools. This is going to cause deputies to lose their job, and it will not. It will not hurt public safety at all, because all we're doing is just eliminating the tax that we don't need. And so that's why I'm saying that we can do this without any reduction in services.
I'd like to know, and I'm sure a lot of the listeners would like to know, especially in Madison County, what other improvements would you want to see in county government in Madison County if and when you're elected county board chairman?
Well, one of the things we'd like to do is, first of all, just a lot of the little things. I don't need a government-issued credit card. The way I do it now, in fact, the county clerk doesn't have a credit card. I don't have a credit card. Frankly, when I heard the chairman had a credit card, I was really shocked, because I don't need one. If for some reason I have to drive to Springfield for some county business, I'll just go ahead and submit the mileage
and get reimbursed.
And someone else will approve that.
Right.
Someone else will approve that. And so I don't need a county car. And I can drive my own car to work. And again, if I'm driving to Springfield, I can just submit the mileage. So those are two little things. But also, we have not had an ethics advisor.
I like that. Right.
Yeah. You about the ethics advisor?
Yeah, right.
We've not had one during this year, and it's really pretty funny, because in Madison County, we have a situation where the chairman, who I'm running against, the incumbent chairman, his campaign treasurer is also the county purchasing director. So the same guy who's accepting donations for the campaign has great discretion over deciding who to go to, where to spend the county money. Now, so in January, I wrote a letter to the county's ethics advisor, and I said, what do you think of this? Is it ethical? I don't want a legal opinion. I just want to know, is it ethical? And I got a letter back saying, oh, by the way, last month I resigned.
Yeah.
And so then the next month, Then the chairman appointed a retired judge to be ethics director. And again, within a couple days, I submitted the same question in writing, and I did not get a response, but I heard that new ethics advisor also resigned. So we have not had an ethics. I don't think the ethics advisor I don't think they want to answer that question.
Right. Hey, Kurt, if I'm a resident of Madison County, why should I vote for you? Convince me why I should vote for you for county board chairman?
Well, number one, it's a change. The current county chairman has been on the county board 35 years. He's been county chairman for 14 years, and he's also been supervisor of Jarvis Township for 28 years. I've never worked a day in my life for the government before 2010 when I was elected as treasurer. And so just simply it's time for a change. And then I think the other two reasons are really what I want to focus on is reducing the real estate taxes and also improving ethics in county government.
Okay, Madison County has been primarily years past a Democratic county, and in my opinion, they've really screwed things up. But Madison County has always faced a lot of partisan tension, and in the last few years especially, as Madison County Board Chairman, how would you resolve these tensions to bring a more cooperative county government and bring the Democrats and Republicans to the table for the good of the people of Madison County?
Well, that's a good point, Bob. A lot of people have said, Kurt, aren't you just can't you get along? I mean, why are you always pointing things out and why are you stirring it up? And so a number of people say that. They say, Kurt, why are you stirring it up? Well, I think the reason is because it needs to be stirred up. We've had in Madison County one party, the Democrat Party, that has dominated 100% for a long time. And I think that in the way our founding fathers envisioned things, is it not that kind of dominance, that there would be checks and balances, and that people would not be professional politicians for their whole life long. And so that's one of the things that is my goal is to, if we don't have a county, sometimes our county board meetings, Bob, it looks like the Supreme Soviet. Now, I've never been to Moscow to see what.
Well, don't, because they'll put that out on the hit piece that you like the Russians. So go ahead.
But anyway, everything is chop, 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 very organized. And what I would like to see is the county board be a place where people can voice their opinions and
have their input. Right.
That's right.
Well, Kurt, we're running out of time here. I want to give you the last word to the good people of Madison County. And again, I want to say my disclaimer. Kurt Prenzler was here to be transparent. He's got the guts to come on the dark side with the Grim Reaper. He's very transparent. He's a great candidate, people. And I don't endorse or not endorse. I tell you who I like and don't like. But I think Mr. Kurt Prenzler, if I was a resident of Madison County, he'd get my vote because he's very sincere. He's very honest. He's very ethical. And I think he's the voice of the new generation of politics. Kurt, I'll give you the last word to the good people of Madison County.
Thank you, Bob. Just three things. Number one, I think it's time for a change. Number two, we all need to work hard to reduce property taxes. And number three, we need to work hard to improve ethics. And that's what I'm going to try to do.
Mr. Kurt Prenzler, thank you for taking time out. I know you're running a heck of an election. You're all over Madison County. Madison County candidate, your candidate for Madison County County Board, Mr. Kurt Prenzler. Kurt, the best of luck to you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Bob.
We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. I'm going to go crazy, and I've got Karen Cason going to go crazy with me, and we'll be back right after this break. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting at its finest, and it's going to get worse right now, people. America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. I want to thank Mr. Kurt Prenzler, a great candidate, a great public servant in Madison County. And again, people, he wasn't here to endorse me. I don't need anybody to endorse me. I'm going to say what I want, whenever I want, about who I want, anytime I want. And if anybody's got a problem, go over to Jefferson Barracks Memorial Cemetery and bitch at those proud military heroes that died to give me this right, and the rest of you that think that we the people don't have that right can kiss my red, white, and blue, hairy, stinky, wrinkled old ass. You understand me? And by the way, got this idiot son of a bitch named Wigburr Mueller, William Wigburr Mueller, yesterday. And this morning, I was shocked to hear a political ad where the speaker questioned his opponent's sexuality. Well, he's not my opponent, and I can question anybody's sexuality. You're one of Kern's butt boys, you ignorant bastard. And I called him a faggot. I sure did. What? He's got what? How is this acceptable in any political race? Are you nuts, you idiot? Do you see this crap going on every ad on the newspaper? They want every ad on TV. This guy lets rapists go. This guy likes rapists. Mr. Wigburr Mueller, you idiot. I wish you had an easier name to pronounce, but you may be a faggot too. I don't know. How acceptable is this in any political race? Are you nuts? Where you been on Mars, you idiot? You must be on Mars, allowing this hatred. And I'm going to let you know about hatred in a minute, you dumbass, to be broadcast over your airways. I listen to the golden oldies every morning, just like my mom did with me as a kid. It's a cherished memory. Oh, you must be a faggot. I don't want it to be tarnished by hatred and prejudice. Well, then you better put a bullet in your head, you idiot, because there's prejudice and hatred all over, and these politicians are the ones that cause it. Please remove this horrible ad from your station, or I'll find another outlet for my golden oldies. Hey, you idiot, Bill Wigburr Mueller, find another outlet and don't come back, because I don't want a little stupid son of a bitch like you that don't believe in the First Amendment. You understand me? And let me tell you why. All these hit pieces coming out, and people, I'm not the best candidate. Nobody else was going to run against these Democrats. I'm a flawed individual. I've made mistakes. I made bad decisions 20 years ago. I've tried to make up for it for the last 20, but if you people don't think I'm worthy of your vote, don't vote for Bob Romanik, but vote for Carl Officer, Roger Cook. They're trying to lump everybody to me, and I appreciate that, because being in the entertainment business, my ratings are going sky high. I'm getting that name recognition that I couldn't buy. But don't hold these good candidates. If I'm not worthy of your vote, please don't give me a vote. But if you do, I will fight. I'll go up there and put my foot up Madigan's ass. I guarantee you, I'll put a bullet in my head before I ever vote for a tax increase. We need to stop spending. I'm not taking any salary, and I'm demanding that every state senator, every state representative cut their salary in half. No pensions. It's a part-time job. I'm fortunate enough not to need the money. I'm not needy, and I'm not greedy. I'm going to work for the love of my country, not for the love of money. But here's how egregious these bastards get. Kevin Dawson out of Mascoutah. He's running for county board. He's running against the Democratic culture of corruption. I've met him and talked to him approximately a half hour in my life. They've got a picture of me and him, people. Now listen to this, how egregious, how nasty. They put out a political hit piece on him because he shook my hand. I've never been in his house. He's never been to mine. We've never been to dinner together, never had coffee, never had a drink together. But because he's on the Republican ticket as I am, these ass-wipe culture of corruption party idiots, again, not the proud rank and file decent Democrats. I want to put you in a different group, because there's a lot of proud decent Democrats. It's this culture of corruption, these organized Democrats. But these bastards who have taken over and destroyed the image of the good, proud Democratic Party. Again, how desperate and despicable are they? They put these lies out, and they'll do anything, people, to get your vote. They lie on all these political pamphlets. But they have a picture. They have a picture of me shaking Kevin Dawson's hand. And you know where that was at? At his brother's funeral. You nasty ass, rotten bastard son of a bitches. Kevin Dawson's brother died. They called me because his parents listened to my show and asked if I'd come out and talk to the parents, because I just lost my son. So I went out to the funeral. It was a great loss, not only to the Dawson family, but to everybody in Mascoutah. And again, I was asked to stop by and see Kevin Dawson's mother and father, maybe help console them because my son's passing. And I was honored. You hear me? I was honored to do that. So I went there. I talked with Mr. and Mrs. Dawson. I hugged Mr. and Mrs. Dawson. I mourned with Mr. and Mrs. Dawson. And then I cried with Mr. and Mrs. Dawson. And you no good, rotten son of a bitch and bastards, Kern and Sprague, you're going to bring that up again? You're going to bring that up again. Do you see how egregious, how despicable these bastards are? If you don't understand these evil bastards, and if you don't understand why I hate them so bad, maybe now you will. They are so desperate to run for office. They have to win an election. They don't want to help the people out. They just want that power. But do you understand me, people? A political hit piece out on a great man in Mascoutah, an attorney, Kevin Dawson, because he shook my hand at his brother's funeral. Now, if you people stand for that, if that's what you want, then you're no better than these rotten bastards. And that's what they do. They don't give a damn. They'll destroy you. They'll destroy me. They try to destroy my son. If we give them the opportunity, they'll destroy all of us. So people ask, why I'm so crazy on these son of a bitches? I want to win this election. But more than that, I want to destroy these son of a bitches. Politically, of course. But you understand what's going on. Charlie Meyer, on a side note, Charlie Meyer, state representative from the 108th District out of Oakville, will be our guest on Thursday. And again, he's here to be transparent, not to endorse anything I say. I'm sitting here with Carl Officer and Dr. Karen Cason. And I was just told, and Carl and I spoke about it, they're breaking ground down on the riverfront. They're breaking ground a week before the election. They could have waited a week after. They're saying and lying and saying that, oh, it's going to be a great development. That's just to get that street in. There's not going to be any development. But that's how desperate they are, and that's how stupid they think we are, breaking ground for future development. There's no future development in this Kern. And Kern, I got to ask you, no crap. Are you gay? You look gayish in these pictures. I just want to know. Hey, faggot boy, are you or are you not gay? I don't know. I'm asking a question. But they've got another flyer, and they've spent a fortune beating us people because they're afraid we can make a difference. He's taking credit for the new eastbound lane on the Poplar Street Bridge, the new eastbound exit on the Martin Luther King Bridge, the new Kaskaskia Industrial Road, new I-64 at Ryder Road, exit Scotter. This are you taking credit for the sun shining this morning, you ignorant, stupid, lying bastard? What a piece of crap. Mark, the big faggot boy, Kern. And hey, you know what? I've never been called a faggot, never been called a pedophile. They've got people in their groups that have been called both. Hey, Tom Holbrook, how the hell you doing today, buddy? How you doing today? Is Derek Wallace? Derek Wallace is putting some accusations, some allegations out on you about pedophilia. I don't know what they are. They're allegations, but I got to ask, Tom Holbrook, are they true? Call me and defend yourself. And I'm the bad guy? Carl Officer's the bad guy? Roger Cook for shaking my hand? People, don't let these idiots fool you. They've been fooling you for 30, 40, 50 years, and they put out this political propaganda. They got some political propaganda out, and on the front side down in East St. Louis, it's got Michelle and Barack Obama. The Democratic Party, when Barack Obama ran the first time, they did not back. They backed this Dan Hines. They did not back Obama, but now they're going to take credit for it. You people of St. Clair County, Democrats, Republicans, men, women, black and white, you have all been okey-fadoked. It's time for a change, people. We may not be perfect candidates, but we're a hell of a lot better than these ass-white bastards, and don't let them tell you after 40 years what the hell they're going to do. Dr. Karen Cason, I'll tell you what, are you as pissed off about this crap? And you as a proud black lady, with all the racial crap going on down there, the hit pieces they don't send there, that they send up to Belleville and vice versa. What's your take on all this?
Bob, I am very upset, and especially when I found out that there was a hit piece put out on my daughter, Laninia Cason, who's running for circuit judge. And I received all these calls from people, and they were upset because they received a hit piece from Bob Lachine, and ironically, it was just above the hill. They didn't send hit pieces below
Well,
the hill.
hell no, they won't.
And but
Because they don't think you black folks can read. They don't respect you black folks, but you all know that. So go ahead.
well, we received. I know I received about 30 or 40 calls, and they were from people that lived above the hill, and they were upset. They were upset about it. So I felt I needed to come and discuss this hit piece and give my own audio or verbal hit piece as it pertains to Bob Lachine.
Go right ahead, Doc.
Okay, first of all, we're talking about the lowest ratings in history. That's what he had on that. La Nina A, you're no angel. Well, Bob Lachine, you are no angel either.
He's more like a devil for me.
Lachine means dog in French, so you are a dog, the lazy dog. And I'm looking at integrity. You gave her requirements and let me say this. These ratings were from their lawyers.
Well, sure.
Lawyers that they control. Lawyers that give big monies toward their re-elections. Lawyers who get what they want when they go before the courts. These are ratings that lawyers that Bob Sprague, Kern, and Barra Civic, and other lawyers control. I want to say, as far as meets requirements of office, Mr. Lachine, you get 0. Because number one, they have substituted cases. Barra Civic does not give you any cases anymore. He has substituted different parties have substituted, asked that you be substituted. They didn't want you on their case 38 times in 102 days. And then recently, in recent days, he has had to substitute you 6 times because nobody wants to appear before you. So if you're not there and you don't have any cases, where are you? At the horse races or sitting at the video poker at the Casino Queen? As far as integrity, you get 0 because you resigned. And then you turn around and decided to run again because you knew that you couldn't get 60% of the votes because nobody has any confidence in you. So you decided to resign. Resign and go and play the horses. Resign and go and get on the video poker. You are not doing anything up in the county. As far as impartiality, you get 0 because you are controlled by Sprague, Kern, Barra Civic, and other lawyers. As far as legal ability, you get 0 because nobody wants to appear before you in court. As far as temperament, you get 0. As far as court management, you get 0 because you're never there. So I just wanted to give you your ratings, Bob Lachine, and I also want to ask everybody to get a copy of the Madison St. Clair record on Friday. There's going to be an article, and you can get the article, it's free. You can get it at Walgreens in Belleville, or you can get it at the East St. Louis Public Library, because the Illinois Civil Justice League has rated St. Clair County Chief Judge John Barra Civic and Circuit Judges Bob Lachine and Bob Hader as not recommended, saying the judges who faced an uphill battle in an effort to get 60% voter approval in a retention election instead, quote unquote, purposely gamed the system, unquote, by opting to run for election. And it further states that instead of running for retention, they circumvented the process by turning in their resignations, and they filed as candidates in the March 15th primary, where they only needed a simple majority. And the Illinois Civil Justice League said that it's critical that the voters in St. Clair County are aware of this unethical maneuver, that these judges ignored the intent and the spirit of the Illinois Constitution, and they are deemed not recommended.
Dr. Karen Cason defending her daughter as any good mother would, but defending her daughter the right way with the facts, not the fiction that St. Clair County Democratic culture of corruption is putting on. Dr. Cason, thank you very much. I know you're pissed. I'm pissed. I hope everybody in St. Clair County's pissed. I got to say, Carl Officer's here, and I want to get to him momentarily, but there's a lot of alleged voter fraud back down in Allerton, Centerville, Cahokia, and guess who is circling the wagons on that? Our good friend, Joanne Reed. When I tell you what, she needs to be charged with a felony for that wig that she wears. Now, that's a crime in itself. But I think the feds are coming down. So people, and I got to say, Brendan Kelly, do you not know what you've done when you give her special dispensation and dropped all of her felonies so she could run for mayor of the town that she disgraced 2 years ago? Joanne Reed, you'll be hearing a lot more about her in the days to come with this voter situation. One last thing, Carl, before I get to you. This asswipe, Doug Jamison, the Republican chairman, stands there with Mr. Tom Haney Holbrook. You know, Mr. Haney, hey, Derek Wallace wants to talk to you about some salacious allegations, and we'll get on that tomorrow. He says, the Republican, oh, no, the Democrats are doing a good job. See, people, rank and file Republicans, this Doug Jamison doesn't want us to win. He wants to keep his little kingdom going. This is the same Doug Jamison that the Republican Party is supporting as their chairman, who has domestic violence charges, 2 DUI charges, didn't pay $100,000 in child support. And Bob Romanik and our tickets, the bad guys? Carl Officer, how hypocritical can these son of a bitches be?
Good morning, Bob.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Fine. Go ahead.
I'm glad to see you're all fired up 1 week before the election. You know, hypocritical and politics kind of go hand in hand. I think that I'm not going to waste a lot of my time or yours or your listeners' time discussing ridiculous comments made by ridiculous people. I do think that it's so inviting right now to look at 8 days out, 7 days out. We've got a winning ticket. We've got people who stand for something, from Roger Cook to Ed Cockrell to Laninia Cason to Gary Cornwell. We've got a winning ticket. Regardless of all the theft of votes, I understand Sunday, I believe it was in Cahokia.
Right.
They were spending money like there was no tomorrow.
And the feds are involved.
Openly buying votes.
The feds are involved.
You know, I kind of understand if you don't have a job, never had a job, don't think about having a job. If all you got is an EBT card and a habit, you know, you take the $20 and you take the $30, you take the $40, whatever you take, and you go in there and vote. But then those persons are lost. We need to be praying for them. We need to be offering them some hope. But the real people who own a home, who pay taxes, who have a family, you know better. You understand what's going on. You can change this county right now. You can go to your courthouse and you can vote right now. If you live in East St. Louis, you can go to the Board of Elections there and you can vote right now. But certainly on Tuesday, November the 8th, we need to vote all of this culture of corruption out. I looked at, and I brought you, Bob, 2 of these hit pieces that they sent to my house. Horrible photographs of you.
I look bad. I don't take a good photograph, but thank you very much.
I think you're taking a good photograph of me from time to time, and I'm proud to say that you're my friend.
Well, thank you.
I've said this over and over again. I'm not going to run away. I'm not your dominion. You don't tell me what to do. You're a grown man and I'm a grown man. But what I like about is that you never lied to me. What offended me of all of this is when they put on here that you were lying. I have never known you to lie to me. I've known you not to answer a question or two.
Well, thank you very much.
To avoid maybe the position. But, you know, at the end of the day, you tell me you're running for Illinois State Representative. Your job is to represent the people of the 114th District in Springfield. That is, you will represent our issues. I heard you say that. I don't know that we have had a representative in years. I mean, years in Springfield that represented the people of the 114th District. But I know that we'll have one after November the 8th because you're going to get elected. I do believe that every one of us on the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, we're going to get elected with the help of the people of St. Clair County. This is not about Carl Officer needs a job, Roger Cook needs a job, Ed Cockrell needs a job. We all have our ability to make a living, and we've had good family members. We've had a good living. We want to serve the people, and so we cannot do this without your help. And I would say the last thing is that, you're looking at some people who are awful desperate. You have never seen this kind of advertising. You've never seen this kind of campaign. You've never seen this kind of negativity until now, because finally, for the first time, there's a challenge to the machine of St. Clair County, and a legitimate challenge. And those persons who were sitting on the other side saying, well, how did you guys get together with a coalition? It's taking Democrats, it's taking Republicans, it's taking independents. We have to all come together, because this is one heck of a machine. In order to beat these guys, we need people from both sides of the aisle. We need people from black and white, people from rural areas from the county and the urban areas in the county. We together can win this thing and make this county free.
Mr. Carl Officer, co-chairman of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, and you're the people's candidate for St. Clair County coroner. And Carl's right. I will not sell out the Madigan. I will not sell out the Rauner. I'll listen to the people in my district. And people, if you want a change, if you want to change, a radical change is what we need, and I will give you that. I will go to Springfield, and I will fight. If they throw my ass in jail, they throw it in jail. I'm going to speak and represent the people of the 114th Legislative District, the people of Southern Illinois. I don't give a damn about Madigan in Chicago. I don't give a damn about Rauner in Chicago. I give a damn about my people in the 114th Legislative District, my people in St. Clair County. And if you want the candidates that are going to fight for you, the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition train is on the move. Please get on it. November the 8th. Let's make the change that we may not want to make, but we have to make to keep this county going. We do not need this destruction any longer in St. Clair County. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you've been listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. Come on back tomorrow, people. We've got 7 days for this election. They're going to lie to you, this Democratic culture of corruption. The proud Democrats know they're lying. The proud Democrats are going to come on the Freedom Coalition train together. We're going to make a difference. We're going to make a splash. We're going to make a change, people. 40 years of the same political corruption is not doing anybody. You sit there and think about it. Men, women, black, white, Democrats and Republicans. Your lives have gotten worse. They'll continue to get worse under this leadership. Your children and grandchildren's lives will be bad, worse than they've ever been. So let's continue to fight. And by the way, Mark, the big faggot boy Kern, I have no respect for you. And Bob Sprague, the man that pisses in his drawers, and he's the leader of the Democratic Party. Both you ass white bastards, come and get me. You screw with my son, now he's dead. You come screw with me, you son of a bitches. And you're right, I'm not politically correct. Political hatred. Talk about hatred speech. I hate you, son of a bitches. Now that's hatred speech for what you've done to my son, what you've done to everybody except your family and friends in St. Clair County. And I just hope the people of St. Clair County understand how vile, how evil, how despicable the St. Clair County Democratic culture of corruption is. So let's destroy these bastards, because those son of a bitches are desperate. They'll try to destroy us day in and day out. Let's destroy them on November the 8th. Politically, of course, right here on the dark side.